Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I will finally be doing something I've been trying to do. I was trying to, or something I meant to be getting to, and that's to record a video for 100 subscribers. And I'll be reacting to what if Seto Kaiba was the protagonist instead of Yugi.
Long ago, when the pyramids were still young, Egyptian kings played a game of great and terrible power.
Duel monsters had power in the past? What?
But these shadow games erupted into a war that threatened to destroy the entire world, until a brave and powerful pharaoh locked the magic away, imprisoning it within the mystical Millennium Items.
Seto Kaiba will be part of the pharaoh now.
Now, 5,000 years later, a boy named Seto unlocks the secret of the Millennium Puzzle.
Yes, you heard it correctly. This video will be looking at Seto Kaiba and what would have happened if he was the one who solved the Millennium Puzzle instead of Yugi. Since this is my first video on this channel, we are going to be looking at one of the greatest animes in my opinion.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched every series up until Arc 5. I don't have a way to watch anything past that.
My name is DJ, and let's get into this video. Before we analyze the sequence of events that would have followed from Seto solving the puzzle, we first need to answer the question: can Seto wield the power of the Millennium Puzzle?
Of course.
Well, first things first. Seto, like a few other characters in this show, has an ancient Egyptian past, and is
Exactly. Joey's the only character that I don't think does that actually made it to the Battle City Finals.
the modern reincarnation of himself. To make things less confusing, I'll refer to Seto's Egyptian counterpart as Past Seto. Now, Past Seto's father, Akhenaten, and Atem's father, Akhenaten, were brothers.
Does this make the Pharaoh and Kaiba cousins?
Means Past Seto and Atem were blood relatives.
Are you saying we're cousins?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say, Seto. This already establishes a strong connection between the 5,000-year-old spirit Atem and Seto. Following on from that, when Atem stepped down as pharaoh, he passed on the kingdom to Past Seto, which
Blue Eyes is Kisara.
also included the Millennium Puzzle.
And now I leave you this, as proof of your right to the throne.
Past Seto would have used the puzzle during his time as pharaoh. Now you're probably wondering what that has to do with Seto, but as we see in the duel versus the Shizu in Battle City,
He would probably have felt something similar, except it would have been with the Millennium Puzzle instead of the Millennium Rod.
Seto uses the power of the Millennium Rod, which was originally Past Seto's item. This means there is a definite link between Seto and the Millennium items he used in his past life, one of them being the Millennium Puzzle. So in conclusion, I can't think of another person more worthy of the puzzle other than Yugi himself. Now let's go right back to the beginning. Originally, it took Yugi 8 years to complete the puzzle.
Seto Kaiba is brilliant. I think it would take four years, like you say in this video, but maybe 5 too.
We believe being raised by his grandpa, Solomon Moto, the Moto brothers Seto aged 8 and Mokuba, his kid brother, aged 3, would have been a similar age to Yugi when he received the puzzle from their grandpa. However, Seto would have completed the puzzle in half the time it took Yugi, and would be the proud owner of a Millennium Puzzle at the age of 12. We believe this is due to his incredible intellect, and
Too young to use it at 12.
if you looked at what Seto originally accomplished during his childhood, you'd probably agree with me. A young Seto defeated his soon-to-be stepfather, Gozaburo Kaiba, who was an undefeated world champion at a game of chess at a very
Brilliant mind, Seto.
young age.
Checkmate! You lose! No! How could you beat me? Now you have to adopt us like you promised, Mr. Kaiba.
Seto also created a virtual software program for a video game, which had the potential to make the company millions of dollars.
It would be sick to see holograms actually come in real life.
Open your eyes! My software could make this company billions of dollars!
And last but not least, This is my personal favorite. Seto took on Gozaboro's challenge and turned $10 million into $100 million in just 1 year's time.
He sold a company, and or he bought a company and then sold it back at 10 times the price.
He did this by buying a company which valued their employees and sold it back at 10 times the price.
What? Why should I buy the company back at 10 times the price? Because if you don't, I'll shut this place down, leaving all your employees jobless.
Damn!
So in comparison, we believe completing the Millennium Puzzle would be a piece of cake for Seto. Having completed the puzzle, 2 things activate according to the inscriptions on the Millennium Box. The one who solves me will receive my dark knowledge and power. This is obviously referring to Atem, the 5,000-year-old spirit, and
3,000 years old in the sub. I didn't really watch any of the subs, but I do know parts of the subs.
second, the person who solves this puzzle will have their wish granted. Seto didn't really believe in magic and destiny.
If I...
Never, ever. He still really doesn't. He just, or I guess he kind of does, but he just thinks his technology is more brilliant.
had a dime for every time you used the word destiny, I'd be even richer.
The puzzle, therefore, responded to Seto's subconscious wish. However, this is still a very controversial question. I mean, what would Seto wish for? Write in the comments below what you think it could be.
His brother to be safe.
We think the underlying wish for Seto would be the safekeeping of his brother Mokuba. Seto has always been a protective brother, and I think this would remain true.
And I must win this duel to rescue Mokuba. The difference is I'm willing to risk anything to do it.
Having 4 years more than Yugi had with the puzzle, Seto would have got used to the puzzle. At first he thought his mind was playing tricks on him.
4 years, his mind would have gotten used to it. Yeah, probably.
But he soon learned to accept the reality that he was sharing his body with a 5,000-year-old spirit. The Pharaoh Atem and Seto are very similar in nature, both confident, very strong-willed, and have a knack for games. The only difference being the Pharaoh's belief in the heart of the cards, which is a lesson Seto couldn't accept even coming from his grandpa. Even though Seto acknowledges the Pharaoh and gets on with him, he doesn't rely on him very much at all, unlike
He's already good enough on his own. He just needs help sometimes.
Yugi did. Being really confident in his abilities, Seto decides to enter local tournaments. However, having a very low-powered deck, his grandpa gives him his deck, with an added card which was the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes!
Moto had received one copy of this card from his old friend, Professor Hawkins. Seto's grandpa had always had a strong connection to the heart of the cards, and even from a very young age, he could sense that the Blue Eyes White Dragon was destined for Seto.
Blue Eyes is probably but it's probably second most iconic card of all time.
Seto's strong connection with the Blue Eyes comes from past Seto and a girl called Kasara, which, long story short, had the power of the Blue Eyes deep inside her and gave that power to past Seto as her dying wish. Now, 4 years pass and Seto is now 16. He has become an unstoppable force in the duelist scene and created quite a name for himself, with the Blue Eyes being Seto's signature card. This
Blue Eyes? Yeah, it makes sense.
caught the attention of Siegfried von Schroeder. Siegfried was originally a potential rival for Seto Kaiba. When Seto Kaiba took over Kaiba Corp, he turned
That
it into
picture
a
was
game
goofy.
company. Siegfried's company also did the same. However, Seto Kaiba was always one step ahead, and eventually, Siegfried's company was overshadowed. Without Seto Kaiba, Siegfried had no competition, and Schroeder Corp became the world's leading gaming company. Now, Siegfried, being the current world champ at Duel Monsters, with all the rarest cards at his disposal, saw Seto Moto as a potential
Valkyrie cards.
threat, as all the attention was being directed to him, which was bad for business. Siegfried challenged Seto to a worldwide, broadcasted duel, claiming if he won, he would take Seto's signature card, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. However, to make things interesting, if he lost, he would give Seto the 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon he owned. Siegfried was very confident in his abilities, as he would be using all 3 Blue Eyes, as well as all the rarest cards his company, Schroeder Corp, had access to.
He should have summoned Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. It would have been difficult for Seto Kaiba to get past it.
Seto accepted this challenge, as like Atem, he had never backed down from a challenge in his life.
I've never backed away, and I'm not starting now!
For the first time, Seto struggled during a duel. Seto's one Blue Eyes was no match for the 3 Blue Eyes Siegfried played. Seto, for the first time in his career, thought he was going to lose a duel. Seto was in a very desperate situation and finally allowed the Pharaoh to give him some help. With the Pharaoh's help, he summoned the
unstoppable Exodia. I've assembled all 5 special cards.
Most iconic scene ever.
All 5 pieces of the puzzle.
Exodia looks scary.
Obliterate!
Seto, amazed by the Pharaoh's power, he starts to think that there may be some merit in the heart of the cards. Maximilian Pegasus, the creator of the Duel Monsters game, also in possession of the Millennium Eye, sees Siegfried's loss to the hands of Seto, the bearer of the Millennium Puzzle. Pegasus, who is attempting to use the 7 Millennium items, as well as Siegfried's solid vision technology, in order to revive his dead wife, Cecilia.
At least did it for a good intention, but no, don't bring someone back to life. It won't work.
Yeah. Pegasus sends Seto a package to his house, inviting him to the Duelist Kingdom tournament, as well as a tape. Using the power of his Millennium Eye, Pegasus duels Seto through the videotape. Using the Millennium Eye, Pegasus knew every card in Seto's hand, and eventually, Seto loses the duel. Pegasus attempts to take his brother's soul, who is now 11 years of age. Unfortunately for Pegasus, Seto's bond with Mokuba was protected by Seto's wish. Pegasus, unable to take Mokuba's soul, takes the soul of his grandpa successfully.
You see, I have found that, given the proper incentive, anyone
Would he be Solomon Kaiba in this, or would Kaiba be Seto Mudo?
can be made to play my game.
Seto has no choice but to enter the Duelist Kingdom tournament, and with only 2 days to prepare, Seto takes Mokuba to the only person who really made an effort with him at school, Taya Gardner. Seto explains the situation
It's T!
to her, and Taya gladly accepts Mokuba into her house until Seto comes back to collect him. Seto, with 2 starships, enters the Duelist Kingdom ferry, where he runs into Weevil Underwood. Not being as naive
Weevil ain't stand a chance.
and innocent as Yugi, Seto refuses to hand the piece of Exodia to Weevil when asked for. Now arriving on the island and still having the pieces of Exodia, Seto defeats countless eliminators sent by Pegasus who are after his Millennium Puzzle. Seto comes across Picoro on the island, a kid he recognized from school. Picoro was possessed by the evil spirit of his Millennium Ring. He challenged Seto to a duel. However, as soon as the duel started, Picoro traps Seto's soul into the Blue Eyes White Dragon, leaving
Shadow Game.
Atem in control of the duel. However, Seto knew that Atem was a great duelist, only second to himself. Seto is later kidnapped by a gang working for Bandit Keith and forced to duel a zombie duelist called Bones.
Bones don't stand a chance either. I beat him down on my channel on Duel Links.
However, making quick work of Bones, Bandit Keith decides to trap Seto in the cave by collapsing the entrance. Seto goes on to travel down the cave to meet a tag team pair called Parrot and Docs. However, as Seto is alone, Parrot and Docs refuse to duel him as they are a tag dueling team. Not
2 versus 1 technically, because Kaiba and Atem were sharing the same duel disc.
allowing him to advance, and leaving Seto with no choice, he taps into the Millennium Puzzle, switching bodies with Atem, showing the twins that 2 souls inhabited the body. Para and Docs accepted the challenge on the terms that Seto and Atem would switch bodies each turn. This strategy is known as the Mind Shuffle. Seto wasn't used to teamwork, and it was costing them the duel. However, after Atem reminded Seto that his grandfather's life is at stake, they eventually started playing as a well-oiled machine, defeating the brothers and advancing to the castle.
10 starships at least.
Seto met the other contestants in the castle, Bandit Keith, Rex Raptor, and Weevil Underwood. In this reality, the 2 original duelists, Joey Wheeler and Mai Valentine, never made it to the castle. Mai Valentine was defeated by Panic and lost all her starships, and Joey Wheeler never made it into Duelist Kingdom, which meant, unfortunately, Joey's sister Serenity goes blind.
Sad, but I shouldn't laugh, but geez.
Funny.
The night before the tournament starts, Weevil sneaks into Seto's room and steals the Exodia pieces and destroys them. The duels commenced, and without much challenge, even without Exodia, Seto made it to the finals with his Blue Eyes White Dragons. The duel between Pegasus and Seto was very similar to his duel with Pegasus previously, with Pegasus reading every card in Seto's mind and dominating the duel.
Mind Shuffle!
I had no idea that you had such powerful cards at your disposal.
However, Atem informs Seto that Pegasus is reaching into their mind, and being a strategic mastermind that he was, Seto suggests the Mind Shuffle they previously used against Para and Dox. Able to thwart Pegasus with the Mind Shuffle once more, Pegasus uses the power of his Millennium Eye to access the Shadow Realm. Seto could feel the effects of the Shadow Realm immediately. However, unlike Yugi, Seto's willpower rivaled that of Atem's and could withstand the damaging effects to his soul.
At least he could withstand it. Yugi was able to withstand it for a little bit, but not for very long.
And thanks to the previous experience with the Mind Shuffle, their teamwork was already flawless, allowing them to counter every one of Pegasus' moves and defeating him. Seto left the castle as world champion, with his grandpa and $3 million in prize money.
Alright guys, that'll be the end of the video. If you enjoyed, just leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.